Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, there's a heart. I hear the hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a rush of somebody who needs you. You're lost out there and you're all alone. And life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
While watching our presentation, please keep the following discussion questions in mind. We will have a formal group discussion at the end of the video.
And I was like, road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Hello, fellow women.
Hey,
Have you heard about what's going on in the political climate related to women's health today?
for real, what are those politicians thinking?
I know, isn't it crazy that they think that they can make decisions about our health when most of the people making the decisions are men?
What? Why? How do they know what's best for us?
Today, we are going to focus on 3 of the most politically debated topics concerning women's health: abortion clinics, birth control laws, and Planned Parenthood.
First, let's define politicalization of women's health. Politicalization is the act of turning a non-political topic into a political debate and often involves the misrepresentation or manipulation of facts to support a political objective. It is prevalent in many controversial science-related topics such as climate change, GMOs, vaccinations, and women's health. Turning healthcare into a political issue rather than a matter of science is dangerous and can result in a medical process that is centered on political debate rather than the expertise of doctors and the decisions of patients.
The reality is that bringing a pregnancy to term is more dangerous to the life of the woman than having an abortion. People who believe abortions are morally wrong and that want to keep women from making the best choice for their lives and their bodies have created these myths. Did you know that even if abortion is illegal in a country, that doesn't mean it isn't happening? Case studies show that in countries where abortion is not available legally, either for lack of clinics and health options available or for the legislation, there are more annual deaths related to abortion. This is a threat to women's health. In developed countries where healthcare is available for the vast majority, compared to developing, the proportion of dangerous illegal abortions is a main result of strict abortion laws. In developing countries, the threat to women's healthcare lies in an inadequate healthcare system, either through cultural stigma, lack of finance for another child, or an absence of clinics that can provide trained medical staff. In fact, the abortion-related death rate is hundreds of times higher in developing regions, where the procedure is often illegal, than in developed countries. Abortions are going to happen regardless of their legality. It is merely a question of whether women will be provided a safe avenue or if they will be forced to pursue higher-risk procedures.
TRAP laws, targeted regulation of abortion providers, are laws designed to hinder the medical process of abortions. TRAP laws single out abortion clinics and providers for medically unnecessary requirements that comparable medical facilities and healthcare providers are not subject to. While these restrictions are often passed under the guise of patient safety, in reality, they force clinics to close and drive experienced providers out of practice, making it harder for women to access needed care.
Abortion is one of the safest medical procedures in the United States. In a study of nearly 6,000 first-trimester abortions provided by physicians in outpatient clinics, 99.1% of patients experienced no adverse effects. Various religious groups believe that an abortion is a form of murder, no matter the circumstance. This includes cases of rape, as well as cases in which women might die if the baby comes to term. This, in some cases, is very dangerous to the women's health, especially in areas where healthcare is not developed well and the risk for maternal death is high. In terms of not being given a choice in cases of rape, it can be very traumatic for the woman's mental health. However, a vast amount of religions also believe that if the woman's life is in danger, that it would be acceptable to get an abortion. Many adoption clinics provide a multitude of services for the mother who is putting up the child for adoption.
If they wish to parent or place the baby up for adoption, take the mother to doctor's appointments, help inform the birth father of adoption plan and pregnancy and obtain his DNA and relinquishments, help mothers choose and meet adoptive parents unless it is a private adoption, set up financial budget for all expenses related to pregnancy, and provide counseling. Those who advocate for adoption usually state that it is not only the woman's health one must be concerned about, but also the baby's health and the baby's voice in the matter. This is typically from the standpoint that a baby is a baby no matter how many weeks old it is.
Hey, have you ever heard of a thing called birth control?
Yeah, you mean the pill, right?
Actually, there are a lot of other forms of contraceptive that are considered birth control.
Really? Far out.
Yeah, way back in the day, people would be mixing dates, acacia, and honey and smear it over wool and use it as a contraceptive.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It was, and you know the first condom wasn't even made until 1839. It was made of vulcanized rubber.
Wow.
And that's not all.
Some significant policies of women's health are: in 1873, the Comstock Act was passed, which classified birth control as obscene. In 1916, the first family planning clinic opened in Brooklyn by Margaret Sanger. However, it was closed within 10 days. In 2010, the Affordable Care Act was passed. However, there was employer pushback, saying that it goes against religious beliefs. These days, the Trump administration aims for either expanding religious liberty or narrowing Affordable Care Act, depending on who you are asking. Laws state that health plans sponsored by certain exempt religious employers, like churches and other houses of worship, do not have to cover contraceptive methods. The same rules apply for a non-profit religious organization.
Hey, are you a man?
Why, yes, I am.
Are you a woman?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a place called Planned Parenthood?
No. What is it?
Planned Parenthood is a health clinic that offers a variety of healthcare services to both men and women. Their website aims to educate its clients on a multitude of healthcare topics. Planned Parenthood offers services for abortion, birth control, cancer, emergency contraception, health and wellness, pregnancy, sex and relationships, STDs, sexual orientation, and gender. Due to its reproduction services, Planned Parenthood is often targeted by anti-abortion activists. Planned Parenthood clinics that have abortion services are typically targeted more frequently, but there are usually no more than 2 or 3 protesters at a time. Anti-abortion extremists target Planned Parenthood and doctor videos in order to try and persuade politicians to pass anti-abortion laws and stop funding.
Let's recap on what we learned. There are 3 main issues that commandeer the headlines for women's health, and those are abortion, birth control, and Planned Parenthood. We must remember that it is always important to be wary of politicizing a topic because it can take the focus off the issue at hand and be detrimental to the health of those involved.